Alright everybody, welcome to another God of War video. This time we are facing one of the hardest bosses probably in the entire game, and that is going to be GNA, the new Valkyrie queen that replaced Freya when she left the palace from Odin. So she is extremely hard, and the first thing I would want to tell anybody who's trying to do this fight is that you need to have every piece of equipment that you are carrying maxed all the way out to the absolute highest level. As you can see, even with my Chaos Blades at level 9, each time I hit her it barely takes anything off of her health at all. So this is going to be quite a long battle where you are going to have to learn to dodge what attacks you can, parry whichever ones that you can, and it's going to basically be a lot of memorization. This particular fight kind of gave me some PTSD thinking back to things like Dark Souls 2 and 3, and even a couple of the bosses from Elden Ring. So definitely a really strong boss in comparison to any of the others that you're going to fight throughout the entire game. So make sure that you're using your Wrath, your Spartan Rage, or whatever setting you have it on. Make sure you use it when it's appropriate to interrupt some of her unblockable attacks. You want to make sure you're utilizing Freya's attacks as well. Don't forget that she's there. She can help you out quite a bit. At the very least, she can distract the enemy long enough for you to get in one or two quick hits. So just definitely don't forget about her being there. When you fight this boss, I did her as the absolute last boss, and I did that because I was dying over and over and over again to her, even with all of my equipment at the maximum level. So what I did was I went and fought the Berserker King, and I took his weapon to use as my relic that I'm going to use for this fight, and you will see why when I get her down to a low enough point in her health where it'll actually help me end her very well. Because with the King's Sword, you can summon all of the swords from the other ones of the Berserkers that you'll meet throughout the game, and each one of them had quite a substantial amount of power. If you've fought them or watched my videos of me fighting them, you'll know that some of them can be quite difficult. So if you can use all of their swords to fight her at one time, you can even melt somebody as strong as her down at least an entire bar of health, maybe even a bar and a half. I did find that in this fight my best option was not to switch around too much. I pretty much used the Blades of Chaos throughout because they have such a wide area of attack. So with the axe and stuff like that, I could do about the same amount of damage, but I didn't really have the option of the radius that I have with this. Sure, I guess if I upgrade the axe and use some of its special attacks, that's okay, but I don't have a lot of time to do all the combos that I need to get that axe to actually hit the same radius as the Blades of Chaos did. So just sticking with the Blades of Chaos were what I did to actually beat this. And you got to keep in mind, you also have to keep Freya's arrows set up for the style of attack that she's doing. When she does that attack up in the air, she'll either do one that uses a pink colored magic, or she'll do one that uses the green color magic, and Freya has both options for her arrows, so you can switch between those as well for her. So you want to make sure that you're good at switching between those arrows too before you start this fight, or you're going to have a really bad day. In addition to that, pay attention that when you do certain amounts of damage to her in a short period of time, she will drop health pellets that will keep you alive, whereas otherwise you would have been annihilated. Without her dropping that additional bits of health for me, there's no way that I would have been able to handle this fight. And even with all that, you can see that I did get beaten, had to be revived again, so a resurrection stone is definitely something you're going to want to have here if you want to have any chance of beating her. Because unless you are just absolutely, truly a God of War, you are going to struggle with her throughout the fight. So there we go, she dropped a health crystal, go ahead and grab it. And even though I got damaged, it was worth the grab because I am going to need it in order to beat her. I'm going to need every bit of health I can get. So she's getting down towards the end of her abilities now. It's getting close to time for me to go ahead and do my summon for what I have from the Berserker King. And you will see here in a second just how important that is to us. She is nearly at the end of her line here. She's about to go down. Health. Grab it. Here goes the Berserker King's swords. Notice how it's got like 12 different swords. There's no way she can block them. They're coming at her from every angle, and it's actually giving me the ability to shorten her time that she has to survive. And once again, I'm super close. Spartan Rage. Hope it's enough to finish this off. Get Freya in there. Grab that health pellet. Block it. And there you have it. She's pretty much done. If I can get one more hit in, that'll be it for her. There we go. Freya finished her off for us. Now we can go ahead and do the finisher. Clip her wings so she can't keep fighting. And you get a cutscene here of what would happen if you did beat her.
Whose cowardice has left entire realms in ruin.
Sister, I know the hate that burns you from within. I have felt those flames, known the comfort of their warmth. I wronged you. And I cannot change that. Never apologize enough for it. But the hatred, vengeance, you have to let it go. Finish it. Yes, sister.
As you can see, even though Kratos has changed his colors and is much more forgiving at the end of the day, the Valkyrie Queen refuses to see reason and chooses an honorable death at the hands of Freya rather than trying to continue on with the journey not serving Odin. So loyal to the bitter end. A super difficult boss here, so congratulations to anybody who actually does manage to beat her. If you guys found this video helpful in any way, please consider dropping a like, because it did take me quite a long time of frustrating losses to actually get to the end of this fight and show you guys kind of what you need to do and able to beat her. It does give you the Queen's armor for Freya, which gives her quite a bit of new range of attack. She'll use her wings much more frequently. It gives her a little bit of a damage, especially if you level it all the way. Getting that armor and putting it on Freya. Really hoping that they'll do an update here in the future that allows us to do a new game plus mode where we can play through with all these cool new things that we have gained throughout the story. But once again, thanks again for the views, and I really appreciate anybody who has watched this far through the video. Once again, if you like the content on the channel, please consider subscribing, because it will really help me to see what people like and what kind of content I should put out in the future. Thanks again, and I hope everybody has a great rest of your day.
Freya, I'm sorry it came to that.
I gave her what she wanted. But thank you.
So then, how's it feel being Queen of the Valkyrie once more?
Queen. Why? There are no Valkyries left.
The Shield Maidens, will you not lead them? Or rebuild?
Maybe. It would be the first time in a while I have something truly mine. We'll see.